pegs in the actual legs as well, bro?
Pegs in the legs.
Okay, and welcome here to Wembley Lacrosse Club for the day that we all wait for, the ALN's coverage of the 2018 men's and women's national finals. We're going to bring you the 3-4 men's playoff this morning between the East Coast Allstars and the South Australian Reds. Both teams out warming up at the moment, and the skies are a little overcast, and it's about 16 or 17 degrees, so it's probably a perfect day for lacrosse as a winter sport. Both teams obviously looking to finish off their 2018 Nationals and with a win, and obviously the East Coast All-Stars had a great game yesterday against the Victorian state team, and they'll be looking at really putting some pressure on the South Australian team today. The South Australian team, after yesterday's loss, will want to bounce back and finish this tournament off strong. So as we get ready for proceedings here, we're going to go down and have an interview with where we're very shortly going to catch up with that. But first things, the South Australian senior men's team. Seen them over the last few days, and they had a good game against Victoria. They last time they met to the East Coast All-Stars, it was a 19-0 to South Australia, and they'll be looking at probably playing some of their younger players today to give them a good run through, as some of them didn't see much game time yesterday, and they shortened the bench for the WA game. And here we go, the New South Wales Queensland senior team. There's been a couple of really good players there yesterday, which we saw. Sammy Williams in the cage with about 740 saves, and he'll be looking at stopping that, as he's out there with the long stick at the moment. He's doing everything, and we'll be looking for a couple of those younger players who really stood up yesterday, Bobby Bride and Mercer. So it's going to be a really fantastic day here of lacrosse, and we're going to be bringing you this 3-4 game, and then we've got the big two finals. So the the Victorian and WA women's final, which was a cracking game the other day, and the Victorian and WA. So we're going to pop down now and have an interview with two of the players from the South Australian team. Hi, I'm here. Welcome to the 2018 ALA National Championships. It's finals day here at Wembley Lacrosse Club, and I've joined by two of the South Australian members. I've got K-Man on my left here from the Woodville Lacrosse Club, a.k.a. the Persian nightclub owner, and I've got young Henry Haskett from the Glenelg Lacrosse Club here. And K-Man, how did the boys pull up after yesterday's loss?
Obviously pretty disappointing with the loss, but we had some good team bonding last night, brought the team together, so just looking forward to today.
Excellent. And Henry, your experience, first one, and what are you expecting to get out of today?
Oh, it's been a great week, and we just really want to have fun today. It's been a tough week, so just enjoy the last game with each other.
Yeah, look, experiences can only be earned out here, and that's what they've done, and we won't worry about the nightclub stamps on their hands this morning. So we look forward to a fantastic day here at the Wembley Lacrosse Club, and stay tuned for all your ALN action. And thanks to the sideline there, to those two players, K-Man and young Henry Haskett. They'll be wanting to get plenty of game time today to seal their spot for the next upcoming state tours, and they've got plenty of state tours in them. As we see South Australia just taking the field now, led out by their captain, Nige Morton, current Australian Sharks co-captain. And the boys looking fine, running out here. And here we go, young Jack Stokes. He, to quote him, it's a great day for a great day. I didn't quite get that one, but that was his call at the start. And Jack, we wish you all the best, mate, with your East Coast All-Stars. And I think it's going to be, if yesterday's game is anything to go by with the Eastern All-Stars, South Australia are not going to have it their own way today. So as the umpires just have a chat here, and head referee Steve Green, your referees today, Steve Green, Blair Fraser, and ALN's own Tim Kennedy. So we wish those boys good luck today. It is, as I said, it's almost a perfect day for a winter sport in lacrosse, and it'll be interesting to see how South Australia line up after yesterday's game. I would expect guys like Nat Rowe, Doug Brooks, Henry Haskett, and those guys to get a lot more game time with the younger guys here. And I would think maybe Dougie Brooks might even start in the face-off for South Australia. And given on the back of yesterday, Sammy Green and Benny Hart's work in the face-off, we expect to see some really good lacrosse here today. As the keeper's just shaking hands, Lincoln Potter looks like he's going to start for South Australia today. And obviously Sammy Williams up the other end. So we're looking forward to an absolutely magical day of lacrosse here. As I said, the two big games today are the women's national final and the men's national final. Both will be played out by WA and Victoria, respectively, in both. And as I said, if there's anything to go by the last few days, I know in the women's was an absolutely cracking day on Friday, which came down to a 1 goal with a big comeback by WA. And it must be something in the water, because that happened against the SA men's yesterday. Big comeback with 7-1 in the last quarter. And then obviously the men's game over on the other ground, which we didn't televise the other day, they were fairly even at half-time. And then WA just happened to get away, Victoria happened to just sneak away with that one by about 6 goals. So we expect a much different game here today. Dan Evans in the middle against Green. As the whistle snaps and Green takes the jockeys in the first one, kicks it out to Omar here. And Omar will bring it into attack for the East Coast All-Stars, kicking it back to Green. There we go, young Lewis King on the field as well. Probably going to see a lot of game time today. Paddy Palmer also with a long stick out there for South Australia. Kicks it back to Omar. Green and Omar did a lot of work together at the top here yesterday, and they'll be looking at doing a lot of work there today. Kicking it down to Bronkhorst, who had a really good game yesterday, really solid player. And kicks it to Jared Nill. Jared Nill, again, using those motors. And he's got Paddy Palmer there. But we've got a turnover here. Omar, ball's hit the ground. Omar fighting hard for it. Oh, he might have just copped one on the ankle there. And umpire, or referee, Tim Kennedy saw that one. And we've got a slash there from Pat Palmer. Tim Kennedy right on the spot there, and he's just caught Omar on the ankle, and Omar's in a little bit of discomfort down here. You can see that one right on the left foot. Those ones tickle a little bit, but we hope Omar's okay, and Pat Palmer will sit in the box for a minute, and the East Coast All-Stars will have the first opportunity in a man-up situation. So they've got Mercer out there, Meyer, Green, looks inside, and that one's going to be called a pass. And South Australia will work the ball out here. The Persian nightclub owner, K-Man, just sitting there with the Lincoln Potter in the cage. Great outlet for Link there. Kicking it over. And Jack Lovett kicks it up to Nige Morton. Nige Morton kicking it down to Jack Palmer. Here's the sniper, Benny Robinson. Will he be able to get his hands free today? He might have an opportunity early. Dan Evans kicks it to Nige Morton. And Nige Morton says, come on, let's just settle it down. What are we in? And running out the penalty here, which good job for South Australia. Nathaniel Rowe comes on. Those big locks that he had a few weeks ago have disappeared. He wanted to stand out by himself, I believe, with obviously the other two guys. Jack Palmer just wearing one on the foot there too, but umpire Tim Kennedy saw nothing there. Pass to the feet. Nige Morton working hard to get that ground ball back. As Nige Morton likes what he sees here. Nat Rowe just sneaking in the back. That's a good little back cut there. Green just letting him go, but Green was pretty comfortable that he had him in the centre there. To Dan Evans up the top. Dan Evans would like his match up here. And just kicks down. Great pickup from Nat Rowe. Really, Dan Evans putting it at Nat Rowe's feet under a lot of pressure. And Nat Rowe, one of these young guys for South Australia who here. And this has been Benny Robinson's sniping spot. Puts it into Luke Keesing. Luke Keesing, good defence there from Ivorich. Kicking it down the back here to Palmer. Palmer just wearing a little bit of heat from Adrian White. Kicking it on. Jack Palmer not looking happy. That Sniper's here. Sniper's trying to take out Jack. I think Jack's already a little bit sore from that last little defensive contact. And the Sniper's just trying to give him one on his ankle to go home with. But great backup from Jack Palmer. Kicks it out to the man who really did burrow in yesterday. And there we go, Dan Evans just getting past that first defender, allowed to free his hands on the inside of the women's fans, and had no trouble putting that one past Green. So Dan Evans with the first score of the game here, and South Australia will go out to a 1-0 lead. So bit of up and back there. Obviously, East Coast All-Stars having an opportunity in man up, didn't make the most of it. Omar seems to be just sitting down here on the ground. He's just holding that ankle, so we hope he's all right. He must have just got him right on the bone, and those ones can tickle. Dougie Brooks into the face-off here. He's been playing some face-off with the Brighton Lacrosse Club and doing exceptionally well in the State League in South Australia. And he gets his game away with his first face-off and first win, so he'll be really happy going at 100%. As South Australia kick it back in here. Fuss on the ground, sorry, K-Man on the ground. For he just wanting to be down there, the Persian nightclub owner, who just kicking it on. He says, no, look, let's get someone with more hair than I. As Zach Drury just kicks onto the field. Benny Robinson with the ball, stepping inside really easy. And there's the sniper, and the sniper's just found the bar. And good little check there from Nige Morton. Should be in good form here. Henry Haskett picking up the ball. Kicks it up to Nige Morton. And Nige Morton showing all his experience to just settle it up a bit. Zach Drury with the ball. Kicks it down to Benny Robinson. Kicking it here to Jack Palmer. Jack Palmer liking what he sees. Kicks it up to Zach Drury, kicking it across. South Australia looking at driving. And that is Dougie Brooks. And Dougie Brooks may have a little bit of whip in that stick because that has missed by the proverbial country mile. But got away from his opponent in Ben Hart there. Certainly had pace on Ben. And I'm sure if that matchup continues, he will have a few more shots today. Here's Zach Drury. Good defence there. Good defence. Nice double. Beautiful double. SA need to move the ball here and something will open up. Henry Haskett just sitting in the top. Here we go. Dougie Brooks again. Dougie Brooks getting down the side, and that one's gone the other side, just about as far away. But Dougie Brooks certainly getting a couple of shots off there. And just must be calibrating his stick at the moment. He's got one to the right well, one to the left well, and I reckon the next one's going to go straight down the centre. So as Benny Robinson just steps inside, gets a double. Good defence there from the East Coast All-Stars. As Sammy Williams, as he's done all day yesterday, looks up, hits his teammate there in Alexander Mercer. And Mercer's got some motives with that gold helmet. Does look a treat out there. Someone did say he looked like C3PO earlier, but if it makes you run that fast, Alexander, as I said yesterday, I think I'm going to get my own. Just kicking it out the other side here to Neil. And Neil liking what he sees against young Henry Haskett. Henry Haskett obviously coming back from the States for his first year in college over there. So he should be fairly fit, we would think. And a great opportunity for some of these young South Australian guys. Kicks it on the other side. Jack, we've got a flag here. So we've got Paddy Palmer again in the box for a hold that time. And Jack Stokes just dropping the ball on that back corner with that flag down. Okay, so while there was a hold there was a simultaneous penalty on the East Coast All-Stars. I believe they had too many men on. The two simultaneous penalties will cancel each other out. So those flags are waved away, and we will go back to 6-on-6 with the East Coast All-Stars retaining possession of the ball. So we've got Green on Evans here. Green wants to go right. Evans just using the body. Shot there from Green, and that's the one he put away a couple of times yesterday. And the second shot on the South Australian keeper. Just stepping in. Defence there from South Australia. Good double. Luke Keesing with the defence there as well, but really well held there by Bronkhorst. And Green will line up on Evans again. So looks like they're playing in a 1-4-1 at the moment here, the East Coast All-Stars. Great little look inside, just didn't quite hit him. And here comes the Persian nightclub owner. Look at him run. He is he's motoring, and he wants his ball back here. So K-Man just looking down. He's going to keep going. He's going to keep going. No, he's just sucking out. Great job there from K-Man. Good defence, good running, and he's found himself in the offence a couple of times for South Australia. So that tells me he's working really hard in clearing that ball. As Nathaniel Rowe just takes the field. Luke Keesing with the ball, kicking it down to Jack Palmer, out to Benny Robinson. Benny Robinson just copying a little check there. Luke Keesing likes what he sees. He's on the captain of East Coast All-Stars, Jack Stokes, and Dan Evans, just ambitions and capabilities there from well outside. And I think Williams has seen plenty of them over the last few days and makes another good save. And he will go into that. So we've got a fast man break here, and Potter with a good save there. Good bit of defence on the back. Lewis King with the ball, might have come off a red there, and the ball will go blue. So good opportunity there for the East Coast All-Stars. Just got tied up, Bronkhorst, as he was coming down the line there. And here we go, Omar's back, so his foot's all right, finding Evans. Looking inside, we've got a flag thrown there. Some good flag height as he just lets one go. So we've got Dan Evans with a hold there. Referee Tim Kennedy just seeing something in that contest, and they will go into a 30-second man up here as the ball just gets rolled up to green. So Omar looking, and Omar ripping the top stick side of Potter's cage. Really good shot, and the East Coast All-Stars are on the board. So great shot from Omar. And East Coast will be really pleased with that man-up opportunity. Obviously, the penalty will be released now. But our Kayat just ripping one to the top left-hand side of the cage. Stick side high on the keeper, SA keeper there. And the score is 1-1 here. A legal procedure on the face. Dougie Brooks with his second face-off of the day. Just an illegal procedure there. Benny Hart. And Dougie Brooks going at 100% at the moment. So we've got a 1-1 game here. East Coast All-Stars versus the South Australian Reds. And South Australia having had 5 shots on the cage to the East Coast All-Stars 3. And here he is. Has he... Oh, good defence. Great defence there from Adrian White just to hold up. But we've got a flag on the play, and there we go. Nige Morton ripping a shot, and Williams with another save up high. But referee Blair Fraser there just finding a slash with Adrian White. So East Coast All-Stars will sit in the box here for 1 minute, and South Australia will have their first man-up opportunity of the game. So we've got Fuss out there, off to Keesing, down to Palmer, to Morton. South Australia playing a 2-2-2 here, just rotating now into a 1-4-1. Just kicking the ball down. Morton, Palmer's going to have to move his feet just to cough that one up. And here's Bobby, just passing the ball up. Stokes fighting for the ball. Great ground ball from Stokes. As Stokes just settles it down for the East Coast All-Stars, showing why he is the captain of the East Coast All-Stars, just settling his guys as the longie just moseys down. Overatch thinks, I'm going to come down and have a go, although they are still in a man-down situation, so there will be a double. If South Australia were looking here, they would be wanting to lock off everyone, and as they are, there's a double on here. But again, great movement from Meyer. Meyer's looking to get in, just turns and slips at the last minute. And SA shortening the hands there. Great pick up from Paddy Palmer. He's got plenty of motors. And we've got an open man out here with Keesing, but the East Coast All-Stars have numbers back, so we won't have any fast man break. but as the penalty releases for the East Coast All-Stars, Dan Evans looking in, left-hand shot, just nails Williams again. And Williams continuing on from the game yesterday against Victoria, just gone at 7 shots now for four saves, has just got a piece on that as Dan Evans does some acrobatics there with a bit of a tumble, and looked like he was trying to do some new yoga position while he was out there. Took him a while to recover, but the East Coast All-Stars just getting a check on that shot, but having first on, so they'll retain the ball. And the East Coast All-Stars 1-1 here still in the first quarter. We have about 5.5 minutes to go in this first quarter here, and it's been quite a good contest so far. Omar just rotating back, just that little one-hander letting go, and here comes Morton down the field. And we've got an overlap, and no, yep, Keesing just stepping in there. Keesing like what he sees. Great feed there, and Keesing just puts one to the left-hand bottom of Williams, and they will extend the lead now out to a 2-1 lead. And Keesing getting on the board for his first one from a feed from Fuss, I think that was out there. So Fuss with the assist. And South Australia just sneaking out to a 2-goal lead. A 2-goal-to-1 lead here against the East Coast All-Stars. But you saw the drive in there from the East Coast All-Stars. They got inside. Omar just losing control with the one hand, and getting checked there by Morton, who actually ended up doing a lot of the work to get down the ground, and kicked it up to Fuss. Fuss kicked it over to Keesing, and they finished it off. We've got a real battle in the face here. That's what we like to see. Dougie Brooks, he wants to go 3 for 3. He's not going to let it down, but we might have copped an interference call there. And a flag has been called with possession. Okay, so we've just got a technical penalty there. Henry Haskett being called for the push. A 30-second with possession, obviously, with the East Coast All-Stars. So Henry Haskett will sit in the box for South Australia for 30 seconds. And the East Coast All-Stars will see another man-up opportunity for 30 seconds as they just set their man-up offense. As per normal, they've had Omar and Green at the top, as Stokes just pops out as well here. They're in a 3-3. Kicks it to Green, kicks it down, nearly got a good piece of that, and the ball will turn over. And I think Nige Morton will pick this. Now we've got another overlap here. He finds Henry Haskett, who's just been released from the box, and looking up. Morton with the ball, able to free his hands, and another great save from Williams, just sticking a leg out and finding the ball, and that's as his games have continued. And we've got a couple of comments here on our ALN Facebook. So Elsa Duncan cheering from the East Coast, from North Carolina, USA, saying hello to you from the Australian Lacrosse Network. And we hope you're enjoying the coverage of this 3-4 final playoff for the Australian Nationals men's title. As Nige Morton just steps through one, steps through another, and again, Williams has had an outstanding game already. He did this. He started with this against Victoria yesterday. Morton having another shot there, and just Williams snapping it up. So if you're watching on the live stream, give us a big shout out, and we'll try and as the game goes on, give you a shout back. And Gavin Kilpatrick says, "Good luck, Youngie. You might want to tape Nige to a tree or something." Yes, we probably do, although Nige is just finding Williams' stick, legs and everything at the moment. He's certainly getting plenty of shots off as Keesing comes down the back here. Morton with the ball, looks inside to Haskett, and another fantastic save from Williams. He is an absolute brick proverbial in there today. That's 11 shots for 7 saves, and South Australia will be wondering what they have to do to get past this keeper. He is playing out of his skin once again. Haskett with the ball, looks inside. Keesing found the net last time, but just misses that one to the right-hand side. Sniper having a go, and Williams again. Big piece of stick up top, and the Snipers, the sniper's not even finding those little gaps at the moment. So, yeah, South Australia getting plenty of shots off, but Williams just snapping them up. Big shout out to Dylan Wood. Love your work too, mate. And we're glad that you're watching some of the boys here. Obviously, big link in the cage for SA. So, yeah, we're wishing him the best for today. Henry Haskett just with the ball, looking down the sideline. South Australia moving the ball well. They're playing a 2-2-2 at the moment. Just plenty of movement. Good to see from South Australia, plenty of movement. Keesing looking in, looks at Haskett. And Haskett finally misses Williams, but Haskett with a fantastic shot there to the offside high on Williams, and a great feed from Lukey Keesing. So Lukey will get the assist on that one, and Henry Haskett on the board. And he'll be very pleased to have that in the back of the cage as South Australia just rip out to a 3-1 lead here with about 30-odd seconds to go in this first quarter. So Dan Evans here coming up against Ben Hart. And Connor just letting us know, let's go, Sammy. The muss, yes, and he's, I tell you, at the moment, Sammy's playing outstandingly well. Melanie Nolan just letting out, go Jack, you rock. Yes, he does. I'm sure he does rock. Or maybe he rocked last night. And he's obviously going to rock this morning. And Andrew Ryan, come on East Coast, watching from Singapore. Why did I move here? Would love to be there with the boys again. Yes. And as the clock is gone there for the first quarter, and it was a really interesting first quarter for the East Coast South Australian game. We've got South Australians currently leading here at 3-1 as the teams just come out to the break, and we're just going to have a quick look here at some of the highlights. You see the sniper coming around there, a big stop there from Sammy Williams. There's probably plenty of them as we talk about the man himself, who just gets that one. Looks the other side here. Stokesy just losing the handle of that, but there was a flag on that play as Nigel Morton just can't even get it past the rock that is Sammy Williams. And again, we could just play those highlights all day, I think, because Sammy Williams found plenty of them. Got beaten down low on that one with Lukey Keesing, but all in all, you know, it's a fantastic start to the East Coast and SA game. And let's just have a little bit of a look at the statistics on this game at the moment. We have, for South Australia, we have Henry Haskett, Luke Keesing, Dan Evans on the board, Paddy Palmer sneaking in with a long stick there for a assist. Sorry, he has a penalty. Matty Fuss with the assist. And then we've got Omar with the goal. And that is the only score for the East Coast All-Stars. And we'll see what happens here in the second quarter. As South Australia just getting their last bit of instruction, as Youngie down there just probably really pleased with the East Coast All-Stars performance in that quarter. Just giving them a bit of a chat. And the Reds just about to break from their huddle. And the East Coast All-Stars just having their breaking from their huddle. I suppose the talking point of that quarter was the keeper in Sam Williams. He took 14 shots that quarter and had 8 saves. So anytime you can go at 60% in the cage to start a game, it's a fantastic effort. And some of the shots from SA were right on target. So playing out of his skin again at the moment. He did this in the Victorian game yesterday, and I'm sure he will be looking forward to doing the same thing in the second quarter. Green here against Dan Evans. Green just using his body, picks up the ground ball under immense pressure, and gets the ball out forward for the East Coast All-Stars. Picks up by Bronkhorst, and he will bring the ball into attack as Lewis King just wanting to put a little bit of heat on that. Kicks it down here to Omar, who kicks it down to Meyer. And Meyer is under a fair bit of pressure there from Jack Lovett. And just kicking it out and back to Green. Green likes what he sees on Evans. He's definitely a right-hander. Doesn't seem to have a left one. And he's going to get doubled there. Paddy Palmer, great double. Good pressure from the defence as Jack Lovett just picks up the ball and he's motoring. He looks inside, finds Dan Evans, who finds Nat Rowe, who just can't get a handle on the ball. And we will have the ball just being held up here by Mercer. The coach is yelling out, just hold it up, hold it up, hold it up, as he flicks it out to Neil. And Neil will bring it into offense for the East Coast All-Stars. Neil being guarded by Nat Rowe, letting him get past at the moment. And there's a shot on the cage. It's gone to the right. And Lincoln Potter with a great backup there. And he will bring the ball back in for South Australia. Looks like he might have a couple of double bits of heat here. Potter obviously being over in the States. Great outlet to Lewis King. They played plenty of under-18 together. And just kicks there to there's the under-18 combination for South Australia, who are in this men's. Zach Drury kicking it down to the snap of Benny Roberts. To one of my Sturt boys, Way. Love it, mate. Love your work. And good to see you on the ALN's live stream of this 3-4 playoff, South Australia East Coast All-Stars. We hope the weather over in South Australia is better than what it is here, although the rain has stayed away. It's a little bit gloomy, but as we see, yeah, oh, and Jack Palmer just using his little bit of razzle-dazzle to get past his defender there, puts a shot on, but just going wide of the cage. But that's South Australia's first shot of the day. And a big shout out to Charlotte Winnan, who's watching over there. He's got Ed Sheeran. I don't know. I'm going to have to get my hair dyed, I think, if I'm going to look anything like Ed Sheeran. I'd bust out a tune, but Charlotte, one of our commentators in South Australia, does a great job. No, I'm not going to sing a song, Andrew Ryan. No one needs to hear that. And that ball has been shot by Nige Morton, and just finding the back of the net. And Williams will take the ball for the East Coast All-Stars and just settle it down, as we have Nat Rowe guarding Mercer quite. They realise he's going to be one of those ones that will run this ball out. And Williams just looking. There we go. Bobby Bryan just losing the handle, but he won't give up on that. He never gives up on anything. We saw that yesterday. He's still trying. He's on the ground, giving it a go. Nige Morton with the ball. A little bit of one-step, two-step. If he looks over the back here, great knockdown there. Excellent knockdown by Jared Neal. And Nige Morton will take the ball as it came out off a blue stick. So Nige Morton kicks it up to Nathaniel Rowe. Kicking it up to Henry Haskett, to Luke Keesing. Kicks it back, sorry, Jack Palmer up the top there. All these guys with this long hair. I wish I had it. Down to Nige Morton. Nige Morton just working on that side corner. Jack Palmer losing the handle on the ball again. And you might want to go and just tighten that stick up, because it's about 3 or 4 times that's happened. Nathaniel Rowe, he'll want to kick the ball over to his skipper. And Nige, if he gets the opportunity to lose those hands, as Benny Robinson, oh, there it is. And Nige Morton with another shot in cage and another save. So Sammy going back to where he was in the first quarter, saving plenty of balls. And I think he's got Nige's measure at the moment. I know Nige hasn't put himself on the board, but he's had plenty of shots, and I reckon Sammy's eaten up about 5 or 6 of those ones from Nige. So Nige will have to change his tactics as he just sits on his haunches here, thinking about where his next shot's going to go. And the East Coast All-Stars kicking it down. Cheadle with the ball, kicks it to Omar. Looks inside, good defence there from Barber. That's in the back of the net, but a shot off. As a great job from Lincoln Potter, just showing the pace that he does have. And he's looking for that outlet. Great look inside. And Jack Stokes just wanting to put a bit of pressure on Pat Palmer. Pat Palmer up for the challenge. Luke Keesing kicks it up to Nat Rowe. Nat Rowe gets the handle on that ball. Nige Morton really screaming for the ball down low. Bobby Bride, he doesn't give up, giving plenty of pressure to young Nat Rowe. And Nat Rowe just kicks it over to the Fuss. And Keesing just tries a little hidden ball trick. They didn't know really where that was. They did think Fuss had that, as Nige Morton gets the ball in. So a good little fake up the top there with that hidden ball. And we've got Dougie Brooks, who has got some motors as a young, and a great trailing check there. And the ball will go out off the South Australian stick. And a fantastic trailing check there from Mercer as he comes to the bench I think I'm gonna nickname him C3PO for all you Star Wars fans out there. That does look a bit C3PO-ish. So if that will stick back in the New South Wales, Queensland East Coast team, we will continue to call him C3PO from now on. So just ball with Williams here, looking at that outlet. Williams just taking his time and walking it up. Sammy's had a fantastic tournament, and he looks at Omar. Omar running for him. Bride there. Omar, Bride. Oh, great pick-off from Harris. And Harris read that one really well. Kicks it up to Keesing. And South Australia will come back into attack here as they kick it down to Morton. Morton will like what he has on Bride and just steps inside. And there we go. He must be ruining the fact that Sammy Williams is in there, because Nigel Morton, again, just down the back, they're going, what do I have to do to get past this guy? Another shot, another save from Williams, and Sammy Williams just gives him a bit of a pat around the waist and a pat on the bum there to say, mate, keep shooting, I'll keep saving him. He's obviously sitting there giving him a little bit. Fantastic to see. That's why we love this game. And we see East Coast Allstars back into attack here as it just gets a little bit darker here at Wembley Lacrosse Club. Some threatening, maybe some little spots of rain here, and you won't pick that up on our commentary. But Josh Harris on C3PO, and just kicks it up the top here. Cheadle, he's got a good left and right hand, and you could see the pace with that one off the left. He shot one yesterday which rattled off the bar in the third quarter against Victoria, and he liked what he saw there as the drizzle just does start to come down here at the Wembley Lacrosse Club. But the grounds are in beautiful condition, and the only thing this will do is get the referees black and whites just that little bit, and I'm sure Timmy Kennedy and the boys will be loving the fact that it's just starting to come down out there. There's nothing better as a referee or coach standing in this weather. Players are all right, they got helmets, they don't notice them, as everyone just starts to put their umbrellas up, and it's only light, still not overly cold here. It's about 16 to 17 degrees, and it's quite pleasant with not much breeze. But the rain's just starting to come down a bit heavier, as the pressure's just starting to come down a bit heavier for South Australia, and it's starting to really come down here now, and the players will be looking at what their sticks do. First time they've probably had some water on them in this tournament, and we know that sometimes when the rain starts falling, sticks get wet. Sometimes they start throwing a bit awkwardly. Nigel be hoping his has just started to throw a bit. Oh, that one's come off the bar. Nice little rattle there from Cheadle. South Australia wanting this ground ball. Looking at it, there's 3 South Australians against 2 East Coast All-Stars. Luke Keesing does a great job to pick that ball up. He's well looked after by Bronkhurst there. Kicks it over to Joshy Harris, and the rain is coming down a lot harder here. You can see that on our screen now, and the boys. But Joshy Harris doesn't mind it. He's like a duck in water. He just wants to get down that way. Henry Haskett presenting in the middle there, and you can probably hear that on the FX mics. The rain is really teeming down now. The boys are out there in it, and I'm sure they'll be loving this 3-4 playoff in this rain. But this is where the silky skills, Benny Robinson kicking out to Henry Haskett. Henry Haskett wanting to look at a shot, and doesn't see anything on. And as we just moving the commentary just slightly here so that rain doesn't get in on us, we see Henry Haskett with a shot to the right, just going right of it and missing the cage completely. But nice little shot before there by Cheadle, I think it was, down the other end, and finding the post of Potter. But the post is the goalie's best friend, and we have to say that was we'll give that to the goalie for a save, because he obviously made that happen. And we've got Robinson just down the back here, kicking it to Palmer. Palmer up to Dougie Brooks. Lukey Keesing liking what he sees on green there, just kicking it down to the Sniper. Sniper kicking it up to Brooks. Great grab by Brooks. Sniper kicks it across. Good ball movement here by South Australia. And out to Nige. Nige will be wanting to put one. Lukey looking, and Luke Keesing again finding having the best of Williams here. That's about his third shot today, and he's found the same spot, just that hip side high on Williams. And Luke Keesing with the ball, and Nige Morton just seeing him come in, and Nige Morton with the assist there, just passes it over to Keesing. Keesing with a good motor, and finds Williams left side hip, and the ball goes in the back of the net. So that's Keesing's second goal for the day. And Nigel Morton will be pleased to be on the scoreboard with an assist, and I'm sure he will be looking forward to being on the scoreboard with a goal here, as the score now is 4-1 in favour of South Australia, with about 9 minutes to go in this second term. The rain's still falling here at the Wembley Lacrosse Club. Dan Evans must like the rain because he's... oh, no, he doesn't like the rain. Nigel Morton, great pick-up here. Great pick-up from Morton. Morton on Omar. Looks inside. Great fake. Evans with the ball. He's got his stick back in his hand as Lewis King just comes to the bench to release another attacker. South Australia bring it into offence. Jack Palmer with the ball there. Kicking it over to Benny Robinson, who kicks it back to Jack Palmer. Nathaniel Rowe just sitting up here on the right-hand 45. Palmer liking what he sees, but there was a double there for the East Coast All-Stars. And South Australia will continue to move the ball around here. And Jack back in Jack Palmer's hands, so moving the ball really well, South Australia. Up to the does man. Here he goes, doing his best work, gets past Mercer, kicks it down, good look inside, and what a fantastic finish there from Nathaniel Rowe. SA ball movement, they're outstanding. And just Benny the Sniper Robinson seeing Nathaniel Rowe coming through the centre there, and great assist from Robinson to find Nathaniel Rowe, and Nathaniel Rowe getting on the scoreboard in this second quarter against the East Coast All-Stars. And Williams again just beaten that time, which has been quite unusual in this tournament. He's had a fantastic. So we've got Dougie Brooks here against Green in the face. Brooks is 2 for 3 at the moment, and Brooks is now 3 for 4. As Nigel Morton just heard the possession call. We've got a flag on the play here. Timmy Kennedy's found something. Nigel Morton will he'll want to have a go here. He just barges his way in and has a shot, and that continues the Morton-Williams battle. And Nigel Morton having another shot on Sammy Williams, and Sammy Williams coming up with a big save, as we have Green coming to the box here for a no. Apologies, that wasn't Green. It was the other 9, Adrian White, for a 30-second hold. So SA into the offence, and the score here is 5-1, with Nathaniel Rowe just popping that last one past. Nigel Morton, he'll want to get on here. He'll want to find that 45 and this man up and really let one rip. So if they keep kicking the ball, that could happen on the bottom corner here. Nice shot from Jack Palmer, just coming around that bottom right-hand corner, but putting it over the top, and didn't make, as the penalty's about to be released here for the East Coast All-Stars. If SA move the ball quickly, they could get another opportunity here. And as, Dan Evans liked what he saw, got to the inside fan of the women's, and from about that 10-metre mark, just ripped it past Williams. And that was a fantastic finish there from Dan Evans, and Dan Evans will get on the board in this game for his second. And a good shot on Williams there, and Williams had no chance of picking that one up with the speed that came out of. So here we go. We have a 6-1 game here, East Coast All-Stars versus the South Australian Reds. And a big shout out to Dom Kildare, who shouts out, "Good work, Big Sammy," and good work to Dom Kildare. He's been playing with the Brighton Lacrosse Club in the state league there, and had a fantastic opening, 6 games. I know he's stepped out of there now, but Dom, we love your work, mate, and the game you played against us in Sturt was outstanding. So haven't lost it, and good to see you on the ALN network here, mate, just having a watch. And as the East Coast All-Stars bring it in, Paddy Palmer looking at putting a bit of pressure here on young Bronkhurst. Bronkhurst just wondering where his help's coming from. He's got Jack Stokes out one side, Paddy Palmer just getting pushed back, and Bronkhurst doing a great job there. But and there's a shot picked up pretty easily, just came off the South Australian defender there, and Henry Haskett finding that ball easily. Paddy Palmer kicking it up to Zach Drury, kicks it to Morton, kicks it down to his brother Jack Palmer, who gives it up to the sniper Benny Robinson, kicking it back to Henry Haskett. Henry Haskett might have a go here. down on the left-hand side. Nigel Morton was looking open in the centre. And if they keep moving the ball, Zach Drury down the right-hand side, and ping, that one goes off the bar. That one's gone about 150 metres off the bar. So Zach Drury really letting that one rip. And that has found the top of the bar. And with this little bit of moisture, that has pinged a long way off it. You heard the ping from up here. And I'm sure Zach Drury will want to be doing that again as he kicks it up to Dougie Brooks. And Dougie Brooks with Jack Stokes. And Dougie Brooks ripping one to the left-hand side. That's his third shot at the moment for 3 misses. But he's continuing to pull the trigger. And South Australia just looking to set something up here. Jack Palmer doing great work down the back. That looks over the back, and that's a fantastic goal there from Zach Drury. And obviously playing together, those two at the Glenelg Lacrosse Club, they must see a little bit of that. And Jack Palmer just finding Zach Drury on the backhand side, and Sammy Williams had no chance of that one. And Zach Drury, after just going ring ting 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 on the top of that bar, finds the back of the net with a little put shot, and he will get on the board now. And a fantastic assist there by Jack Palmer. So SA out to a 7-1 lead here, and the rain is still tumbling down at the Wembley Lacrosse Club, but the grounds are still looking beautiful in this 80th year of the Wembley Lacrosse Club in their anniversary. As Keesing just flicks it out, Nathaniel Rowe going one hand at it, but he won't give up on it. Nat Rowe, as we see it come out, and big dive there from Green for the East Coast All-Stars. Here we go, Bobby Bride. He never gives up on anything, kicking it down the back, and a fantastic ground ball there, given the conditions at the moment. He kicked it out to Meyer. Meyer kicks it up the top to Green. Green to Omar. Omar has Nathaniel Rowe as his opponent. Green has Keesing. Green liking what he sees on Keesing. Nice little pick there. Green wanting to free the hands as that's come off a South Australian defender's foot. Link was looking where it was, but his defender in front there just finding that one first, and Jack Lovett sticking his foot in the way and going, Link, mate, I got you back, mate. And so Omar just goes about his work and rips that one high. A couple of shots there on the South Australian as the rain really tumbles down here at the Wembley Lacrosse Club. I'm really glad to be sitting up in the commentary box at the moment because it is tumbling down. I don't know whether you can hear that on the FX mic, but the wind's picked up a little bit, and it's literally, you can see the ball nets at the back there just flicking around. So there's plenty of wind, plenty of rain happening here, but it's not stopping these guys as Green again goes about his work and just doesn't like what he sees there. Omar pulls it out. He's either pulled it out or the wind has pushed him back that far, because it sort of took him back a couple of moments, and it's just teaming down. It is teaming down, but you know what? It plays into the hands of the East Coast All-Stars, because that was a fantastic feed there from Cheadle, and he finds Bronkhorst on the bottom corner, who puts away another goal for the East Coast All-Stars, and that is their second. So a great goal there by Bronkhorst, and a great little assist there by Cheadle. Cheadle, they obviously relishing these conditions at the moment, as we have about 40 seconds to go in this half, and it is, you cannot see that well on the screen, but it is bucketing down here at Wembley Lacrosse Club. There is a lot of rain falling, and we were expecting some of this through the week, but it's come on final day, so let's hope that it's just getting its way out now. Good pick up there, good ground ball, as we have the East Coast All-Stars there. Jared Neal doing a great job, but Henry Haskett realising the clock's on here, South Australia. So we've got the clock on, they're looking for a shot, 7 seconds to go. All right, less than 7 seconds to go, as the first half of this 3-4 playoff for the in the Australian Lacrosse Association 3-4 final comes to a close in the first half, and we have South Australia 7 to the East Coast All-Stars 2, and we will have, as the players decide that they're not going to sit under the tent for the East Coast All-Stars, they're going, no, we're going to get out of this rain and go and just find a dry spot. And South Australia huddling under that tent down there as the rain just starts to lighten up. So it must be only when they're on the ground that they're worried about it. And we're going to go to the highlights here of that half. Benny Robinson, just the sniper, having a ding. Yeah, Stokesy just missing that one on the backside there. Looked at Keesing coming down there. Keesing beating Williams. And there's Green. Great double from Pat Palmer. And great defensive pressure there. Little shot there, kicking off by Neil. Neil kicking to Jack Palmer. Good little ground ball there by Nige Morton. Nige Morton will be wanting to buy Sammy Williams a beer if you let one in. And as the ball just flicks off there, and here's one of those ones. Sammy Williams going, no thanks, Nige. I've got that one, mate. And a big rip on the outside there by Cheadle. As you can see the difference in the commentary here with the screen. And Luke Keesing just putting one past there. Dan Evans getting his stick, bit of a yard sale. And a great little finish there from Nathaniel Rowe. And another one, Nige. Nigel will want to look back on this tape, I'm sure. And one there from Jack Palmer just putting over the top. And that was the one that hit the bar for Zach Drury, and he put one in not long after that. So, yeah, it's been a fantastic start to the to this 3-4 playoff. And just going through some scorers right now for South Australia. We've got Henry Haskett with 1, Luke Keesing with 2, Dan Evans with 2, Nathaniel Rowe with 1, and Zach Drury with 1. And for the East Coast All-Stars, we have Omar Khalik with 1, and the last one there coming from the stick of Bronkhorst. And we are looking forward to the second half of this commentary as the rain still continues to tumble down here. So if you're on the live stream, send us a message. Tell us what you're enjoying about this commentary and about the ALN's presentation of these 2018 ALA National Championships. We'd love to see your feedback. And anytime you get an opportunity to share the live feed, share the live feed. The more people we have watching this amazing game, the better. And we're certainly going to be turning it on later in the day here for the women's and men's national finals between Victoria and WA, as there's chairs blowing around and nets coming down, and they're just doing a little bit of remodelling out here. But we're going to be joined very soon by the Vice President of the Australian Lacrosse Association, Vivian Parker-White. So we will get to have an interview with Vivian very shortly. But right now we will just continue to watch the rain tumble here slightly. And we look forward to the second half here. So it's hopefully going to clear up just that little bit more. And we will... So as we get set here, just to speak to Vivian Parker-White. As the rain just flicks off the front of us here. I'm glad I'm sitting here. All right. So here we go. We have with us Vivian Parker-White, who is the Vice President of the Australian Lacrosse Association. We'll just bring you up on. See your beautiful face.
Oh, thanks.
There we go. Vivian Parker-White, welcome to the ALN presentation of these national championships. Fantastic you can give up your time to come and see us and have a word.
It's a pleasure.
Now, obviously on Friday night, the Australian Lacrosse Foundation launched its Impact Lacrosse campaign. Firstly, what is the LAF and how did it come about?
Well, the LAF came about with funds from past organisations within Australian lacrosse, and a foundation was formed to promote lacrosse and to enhance the work of the Australian Lacrosse Association in promoting the sport across Australia and to grow the sport.
Okay, so the main objective of the ALF?
Is to...
LAF, sorry, I got that wrong.
Yeah. Is to actually, we have a certain amount of funds that are already in place, and the idea is to accumulate more funds. So the LAF board are being charged with actually raising the amount of funds available, so that when we have programs and projects that people or Australian Lacrosse Association wants to implement, there'll be funding there to support those projects.
Excellent, a great initiative
Yeah.
from the Australian Lacrosse Association. And how can people contribute to either the LAX campaign or the LAF in general?
Okay, well, on Friday night they launched the Impact campaign, and there are two ways of actually contributing to that. You can go through the Australian Sports Foundation, which you can get onto through the LAF website.
Beautiful.
And directly contribute through that, or you can directly donate to the LAF. The actual program, the campaign, is aimed at raising $100,000 in 12 months. And they are seeking people to either contribute individually or as groups.
Okay.
So
And people will ask, is it tax deductible?
if you do it through the Australian Sports Foundation, yes it is.
Okay,
But if you don't need a tax deduction, you can go direct.
beautiful. I'd donate anyway
Yeah.
to this great sport of ours. What is the process for choosing projects to be funded?
Okay, so what happens is that within lacrosse, projects can be put forward to the Australian Lacrosse Association, and under the Australian Lacrosse Association we have the Growth Advisory Council, and this has representatives from each of these lacrosse states, and they meet regularly and they will actually rank the projects that are put forward, and then between ALA and the LAF there will be a mutual agreement on what's to be funded.
Beautiful. Fantastic initiative
Yeah.
by the Australian Lacrosse Association.
Yeah, well, we're very happy with how it's going, and it's taken a while to get into place, and there's still work to be done, but it's getting underway, which is the main thing.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Promote this great sport of ours
Yeah.
and bring us to a higher level, so we're really looking forward to that.
Absolutely.
Can I ask you an off-the-subject question?
Uh-huh.
Who's going to win the games today in the finals? Women's, WA Victoria?
I've got to be biased and say Victoria.
Okay, that's all right. Well, then maybe I won't ask about the men's.
Yeah, have to be biased.
Have to be biased, okay. So
Yeah.
Victoria
Or
and
I
both?
could be neutral and say no, I don't
No,
mind.
we don't sit
but
on the fence here.
No, I'm a Victorian, so
I'm
that's where
parochial
I'm coming
South
from.
Australian, so
Yes.
I'll always have a soft spot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for joining us here on the ALN, and we really
It's a pleasure.
appreciate all your efforts from the Australian Lacrosse Association, and this is a great new project, so everyone get behind that, and let's raise some well-earned funds for this great sport of
Absolutely,
ours.
that's great. Thank you very
Vivian
much.
Parker White, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. Okay, we thank Vivian Parker White there, the Vice President of the Australian Lacrosse Association, for giving up her time to come and have a chat about the fantastic initiatives that are happening here within the Australian Lacrosse Association and the Lacrosse Foundation. As the players just come back onto the turf for the second half of this game, and we see South Australia just breaking, and South Australia have made a goalie change here. I think that was probably pre-planned. The MVP for yesterday's game, Cody Watts, has stepped into the cage, and Lincoln Potter will be glad to be out of this rain, no doubt, and he will have a. He's had a really good tournament, and Link's had a fantastic last 12 to 18 months with the Australian under-19 side, and the work he did to get in there, and obviously with the college he's with at the moment. So great to see Link in the South Australian men's side. And as South Australia just pick up from another one of those young guys who's played in these 18 tournaments, South Australia, Dougie Brooks just winning another one out the centre. He's probably going at about 80% from the centre there, and South Australia really will be happy with a young guy like that coming up through the ranks who can really do some work in face of Zach Drury. Liked what he sees again, and that one's we'll give that a save. I think that pinged off a bar. Nige Morton, here we go. This is the one we want to see. No, Nige has gone. No, he's in the cage still. Williams is in the cage. I don't want to shoot on that, so I'm going to give it up. And Nathaniel Rowe there, I believe, with another one. Nige Morton. No, maybe Nige Morton got that one. No, Nathaniel Rowe. Yeah, no. Sorry, just seeing the handshakes out here. Nathaniel Rowe with his second of the day from a feed from Nige Morton, and I think Nige Morton will be looking that if he can get 12 assists today, that would be a good thing for him, because he did pull out of that one with Sammy, and he obviously saw that play unfolding. So gives it up to the young South Australian attacker midfielder Nathaniel Rowe, and Nathaniel gets his second of the day. So South Australia out to an 8-2 lead here in the 3-4 playoff against the East Coast All-Stars. And we've got a legal procedure there as Timmy Kennedy just picks up Ben Hart for an illegal procedure. That's his second of the day. And Luke Keesing just comes to the bench. As Josh Harris also comes to the bench, Luke Keesing says, I've done my job now. And Zach Drury comes on, and the goal scorer for the first goal scorer of the second half, Nat Rowe, just steps in as the ball moves around. Zach Drury with the ball. Likes what he sees. He pinged one off the post here before, and that one's pinged off the post in the back of the net. And Zach Drury driving down the right-hand side, or his right-hand side, finds the bottom right-hand corner of the net and puts away his second for the day. So Zach Drury unassisted on that one, gets his second of the day and found some motors. I think the defender for the East Coast All-Stars just slipped a little bit there on the initial, but, you know, if you can get a metre on an opponent in this game, you certainly got to keep that advantage. And Doug Brooks back in the centre here against Greenie. Sam Green taking a lot of face-off work and doing a lot of work for the East Coast All-Stars this week. As Doug Brooks just really trying to get that one out. Doug Brooks just flicks it out. And there's a pile-on here. Steve Green sees the pile-on, says it was caused by South Australia. Ball was loose, so there will be no penalty in that, but the East Coast All-Stars will find the ball in their hands in the shape of Green, as Green kicks it across to Bobby, who kicks it to Jack Stokes. As Stokes, he's looking for his man on the bottom corner, who is Meyer. Meyer kicking it up to Green. Green won't mind freeing his hands, and obviously Watts coming in the cage for the first time, hasn't seen a shot yet. Green pushing his way in. Good little stick there, and good defence from the South Australian defenders. Green just trying to flick the ball once he lost it through, and they've called that a shot, and had backup by the East Coast All-Star player there, and the last goal scorer, Bronkhorst, who finds it there. Out to Bobby Blair. Bobby Blair going, how are the hamstrings there, Greenie? Because I'm going to throw it past you, and a rare error there from Bobby Bride, just making his teammate really stretch that in these wet conditions. Although the rain has started to subside here at the Wembley Lacrosse Club, and Zach Drury just kicking it down to Benny Robinson. Benny Robinson kicking it up to Nige Morton, kicks it to Dougie Brooks. And Henry Haskett just waiting for the second one here. They might rotate this back, or no, Brooks just taking it down. I thought they were setting up for a bit of a rotation back. Palmer liking what he sees, runs into a lot of sticks, and South Australia will have to fight for this ground ball. Ball's still loose on the outer side. Zach Drury picking it up. And if they move the ball quickly, they've got an overlap here. They've got to move the ball quickly, as the East Coast All-Stars get Henry Haskett. Look at the motors on that, getting down the bottom. Just puts it. Great take from Palmer. Palmer to Brooks. Brooks lines up, has a shot, comes off the foot of the East Coast All-Stars defender, who's still kicking it down. That comes off a red stick. And we've got a bit of a fight on. Ivorach doing a great job out there with the longie. Bobby Bride, there he is. There you go, mate, catch that. But Henry Haskett flicks up to Henry Haskett. Henry flicks it to Nige Morton. And Nige Morton says, come on, boys, let's settle it down a bit, please. And we'll kick it down to Jack Palmer. Benny Robinson, he's just sneaking off the left-hand post here. Jack Palmer looking, Brooks coming down that side, opens his hands and puts the ball to the right again. But certainly getting some shots here. Brooks finding some open space as Bobby Bride just puts his hands on his hips and he goes, geez, that boy's quick. So Jack Palmer. Oh, Zach Drury just popping off here. Here we go. Jack Palmer working this left side. There it is. He kicks that up. Snipe may step in here. Sniper's going to rip that, and he rips it to the left of the cage and misses by about a foot. So, but Nige Morton, knowing what was going on there, had the backup, and Nige Morton will bring it in for South Australia. Oh, great back cut there from Brooks, if you saw that on the screen. Here we go, Henry Haskett. He liked what he saw last time against Jack Stokes. Get way past him, and wang, dang, that come off the post with a lot of power there from Henry Haskett, and that went ding, ding, ding. That was ringing a bell, and Williams didn't see that one. And unlucky for Haskett not to get another one as Brooks comes down on Bride. Bride going for the big over, and that one's gone wide again from Dougie Brooks. He'll just have to calibrate that stick a little bit further because that's just missing to the left. That's a couple now, and he's missed a couple to the right. But it's good to see the young South Australian attackers putting some shots on goal as the referees just to reload their lacrosse balls as they've all been shot out the back there. And Jack Palmer just stepping around, got a step, looks inside. Henry Haskett, nearly a great pick up there. Ball is loose, ball is to be won. Nigel Morton picks up the ball on the outside. Kicks it up here to Benny Robinson. Zach Drury again. He's got Stokes. He liked what he saw last time. Gets inside. Bit of a swim move, but Stokes that time says no, not there. Bobby Bride just there. Henry Haskett, great little flick over. Kicks it to Drury, who kicks it down to Palmer. And frenetic action here at the Australian Lacrosse Association 3-4 playoff. And kicks it up to the sniper, Benny Robinson. Benny Robinson likes the move he has here. Frees that hands, looks down to Morton. Morton's looking the backside here. Brooks has just snuck off the backside again. Pass a bit low from Palmer. And Drury, he may go lefty. He's got a good left hand, overcommits the stick. Kicks it down to Palmer. Palmer kicks it to Haskett. Haskett looks on the bottom corner. And great save again there from Sammy Williams. Nigel Morton's going, what do I have to do to get past this keeper? So he goes again. And another save. There we go. Nigel Morton might just go, you know what, I think I'm going to just start getting assists here because he's had a couple of assists. And Sammy Williams has certainly had a measure of the Australian captain as he kicks it out to Drury. Drury goes, bang. Hey, Sammy, have another one, but that one comes off the chest plate of Sammy Williams, straight back into Drury's stick, and Drury picks up the scraps and puts that one straight behind Williams, but Williams doing a really good job there. But Zach Drury with his third of the game, and good little rebound off his first shot, which came straight back to him, and he managed to put it just over the keeper. And Zach Drury playing a great game here. He's had 3 goals today. And just finding plenty of the ball. So good to see the SA coaches rewarding these young guys and getting them out there with plenty of time in this game. And you can see there from that replay, just came off Williams' chest plate, came straight back to Drury, and Drury just snuck it in the back of the net. So here we go, Hart up against Evans. Evans just finding where the ball is, getting plenty of pressure, and Nigel Morton just once again sitting there, but Nathaniel Rowe with the ground ball then. And this is one Joshy wouldn't mind. He likes the pace he has, but just reassesses and does the team thing and comes to the bench and releases Keesing onto the field for the SA Reds. And Nathaniel Rowe just losing a handle on the ball there. Kicks it up to Keesing. Keesing on Omar. And Keesing just pushes it down to Ben Robinson. And those two play obviously plenty of ball together, as does Palmer here. Palmer just running off the backside, kicks it up to Keesing. Keesing over Nathaniel Rowe. Nathaniel Rowe wouldn't mind having a run at these guys either if he picks up a shorty. But Keesing picking up the ball, rotating back, and Evans may come down the side here. Evans, no, thinking better of that. Kicks it down to Benny Robinson. Benny Robinson just assessing the situation here as Nathaniel Rowe gets down the bottom on a shorty. A little inside-outside, rotating back. And Nathaniel Rowe looking on the backside, found Palmer. Great rip from Palmer, but unfortunately Williams was all over that. And that's come from our camera angle straight into his stick. He knew where that was going, knew what was happening, and found an easy save there again by Williams as the rain starts to fall that little bit heavier here again, and C3PO has the ball, moving much freer than the Star Wars character, but that helmet, but he just loses the ball, and the ball's trickled out of bounds here just in front of the SA Reds coaching bench, and the ball will be brought in by Palmer, and you can see by the back of his shirt just how wet it is out here. Keesing kicks it over to K-Man. K-Man, that's come out the back of his stick as he's had a shot. And here comes Williams. Is he going to go coast to coast? No. Finds C3PO up in the middle. Palmer just letting him go past. As he kicks it in, looks inside and finds him in the middle. And there's a great little finish by Meyer. Meyer one-on-one, by himself sitting in front of the keeper. Watts there. and puts it over the top of Watts, and they will get another one on the board. So Meyer, great little finish there, as you can see on the replay. And Cody just looking back in the back of the net going, I better pull that one out. And drags it back out, gives it back to the referees. And South Australia may not be necessarily too happy with the pressure that was put on that through the middle, which allowed that. And the defence had slid. Obviously, K-Man down the other end having a shot, which he would want to take again. But we have a 10-3 ball game here. South Australia, as Brooks gets the ball out the middle. Might have worn one on a foot there again. Green just showing a bigger body and just hustles and bustles him as we kick it out here to Bronkhorst. Bronkhorst just bringing it down. And Green has been picked up now by King as Stokes just runs through the two of them and kicks it up to Omar. Omar out to Green. And Dougie Brooks just coming to the bench here for South Australia as Dan Evans just rolls on. We've got a stop clock here, might have a loose equipment. As
You're wet now.
as Blair Fraser just readjusts Sammy Green's helmet. And Sammy kicks it down to Omar. Omar out to the scorer, Meyer, who kicks it to Bronkhorst. Bronkhorst, a great little round the corner. Beat Lovett there and put one to the bottom left-hand side of Watts. And Watts must be thinking, what's going on here? Yeah, Bronkhorst with a great finish coming around the bottom right-hand side there. And just defender letting him get upside or top side of him and able to free the hands without being able to put any defensive pressure to push him back. And great little finish on the bottom left-hand side there as the score now, South Australia 10, East Coast All-Stars 4. And we've had a couple in a row here from the East Coast All-Stars. So rain's still falling here at Wembley Lacrosse Club. We've got an illegal procedure. Timmy Kennedy has picked up hard again in the centre there. Evans with the ball. And Evans will bring the ball down here against Bobby Bride. Just blows past Bobby Bride. Evans, that's the shooting range. You don't let Dan Evans get into that shooting range. And Dan Evans coming from the centre unassisted, just running past Bobby Bride, which is quite unusual because Bobby's been really solid this week. And obviously just getting a little bit tired with the work he's done. He's never given up on anything. And Dan Evans just finding a bit more pace than Bobby at that point, and just getting past him and able to step inside to about that 6 metre mark. And Dan Evans putting another score on the board, and he has 3 for the day now. And he back in the centre. He says, I'll take another one against Hart. And Hart has gone for a couple of legal procedures. I think the referee's just having a bit of a chat about maybe why that is, as they set Dan Evans wins the ball here. The Persian nightclub owner trying to get down. He's got a break here. He may want to get in the middle. K-Man, are they going to feed him again? No. Benny thinks second of it. He saw the opportunity he had last time and thought, you know what, might give it to my attacker as the Persian nightclub owner. K-Man, he's not really a Persian nightclub owner, but the boys get into him. But he just releases Luke Keesing back into the offense as Luke Keesing picks up Bobby Bride, looks inside, Dan Evans with the ball, and that's nailed again. Another good save there from Williams. Dan Evans just not much angle on that shot, but a good ride there from Palmer, who has great stick control. Nigel Morton picking up the ball. He's got to watch his backs, but just has the presence of mind to pull out and understand that there was obviously people coming. And Nige just kicking it up to Jack Palmer, and Luke Keesing he got Bobby Bride, looks inside. Morton's open on the back side here, and he might just pop back here, Morton. And there's the sniper looking up, Haskett nailing the shorty midi defender there in Bronkhorst, and the ball has come out off a South Australian stick. And SA really have to match up here. They've let these guys a bit loose. Meyer again flowing out the back, and he had about 20 metres on his opponent. If they had the ball in the stick and a fast whistle, May have been another one that they put on one-on-one on the keeper. And they kick it up to Stokes here. Stokes just looking at what's going on. Kicks it down to Bride. Bride being guarded by the co-captain of the Australian Sharks team. And Nigel want to put a bit of pressure on this, no doubt. He's got a flag. And Nigel says, well, I've got a flag already, so I may as well go that little bit harder. And Bobby Bride going nut. And Bobby Bride has a shot from well outside. Nigel Morton calling for a ward there. Watts picking that one up quite easily from outside from Bride's stick. But Nigel Morton will come to the bench and he will sit down for a 1 minute slash. And the East Coast All-Stars will go back into a man-up opportunity. Rain just continuing to fall here as we sort of keep your comments coming in, and we'll try and get back to them. Melanie Nolan, hello, is watching. Fantastic. Sammy Williams, yes, he is killing it. Ashby, absolutely killing it. As the East Coast All-Stars back into a man-up offense here. Jack Stokes just backing off the back corner. Green likes this. This is where he does better. Omar from a great save from Watts there. He had plenty of people. He looks down the back and he hits Luke Casing. No, Luke just couldn't quite get a handle, loses his stick. But the ball is on here. East Coast All-Stars going to ground. Loose ball, called a loose ball push. And the East Coast All-Stars will have it. Good outlet there. Nearly hit Casing from Watts, but just didn't quite come off. And but a good save for Watts there with Omar having a fair bit of coverage in front of him. So as we sit here, and that one's just snuck in. Oh, great look there from Green, who kicks it to Cheadle there, and Cheadle on the left hand just rolling one down underneath Watts' stick. And Watts won't be necessarily happy with that. And Cheadle gets on the board for the East Coast All-Stars. And you can see that in the replay, just looking down low. Sort of a bit of a hope shot there, but sometimes they go in, and I'm sure in my lacrosse career I've had plenty of them, where I just throw it somewhere near the net and it goes and it goes down. And the East Coast All-Stars, a 6-goal difference here between South Australia, 11-5. And the face-off here, Brooks against Hart. Brooks wins the face-off and just misses the initial pickup. And wears one on the shoulder there. Looks inside. King just floating down there. These longies for South Australia. And here's the sniper. And the sniper's drawn a flag, but missed the cage. As we have a flag here on Hopkinson sitting in the box. I believe you got a 1 minute flag. You can hear the thing there. We've got 1 minute to go. So our clock might be slightly out, but under a minute to go now for South Australia. They have a man-up situation, and I'm sure they'll be wanting to get another score on the board here. As Fuss gets the ball, hasn't seen much time. Dan Evans kicks it down, and great little finish there from Jack Palmer. No, that's in the back of the net. Sorry, my bad. That's gone in the back of the net, and that will be an East Coast All-Stars ball. I thought that one had actually fielded in the front of the net, and Jack Palmer with his head down going, I did too, as they give it up to C3PO. And good pressure here from the sniper. Not only pressure on the cage, but pressure on the ball handler, as kicks it back to Williams, and Williams says, you know what, I'll find my man. Back to C3PO, and Robinson just falling over as the penalty releases and the clock releases at the same time. So we will start the fourth quarter here between the 3-4 playoff between the East Coast All-Stars and South Australian Reds, and the score is 11-5, the way of South Australia. But a really good quarter then from the East Coast All-Stars. And we're going to have a bit of a... As the players just come to the bench for the 3-quarter time break, we will just queue up some of our highlights here, and here they come. Sammy Williams making a save there. Zach Drury putting that one in the back of the net. As a good tumble on there. Almost looks a bit more like AFL than lacrosse, but Great pick up there from Bride. There's the sniper, just missing the cage. But this is a great one down the side by Dougie. Dougie Brooks had 3 of them inside. Great check there from Jack Stokes, and didn't give that up. Looking up the top, looks down the bottom, and Nige Morton having one of those days against Sammy Williams, another one. And I thought Sammy got a piece of that, but Nige missed that one. Dan Evans out the centre here, just not getting a handle on the ball. This was a good kick over back, and another great save there from Williams, as our man C3PO just losing the ball there. Kicking it in, great look inside. Meyer finishing the first one there, as that one came around the backside for Bronkhorst, and getting one away there, Dan Evans. And as we just see here, the rain has just eased up, and we've got the stats here for the end of the third quarter. Goal scorers for South Australia, we've got Henry Haskett with 1, Luke Keesing with 2, Dan Evans with 3, Nathaniel Rowe 2 good shots for 2, Zach Drury with 3, and for the East Coast All-Stars, we've got Gene Bronkhorst with 2 goals. Meyer with 1, and that was a good one in the centre there, found his way free. Omar Khalik with 1, and Zach Cheadle with that little last one that they got there with the left hand just down low, and he gets on the board for the East Coast All-Stars. And as the 3-quarter time break is just about to go, the SA Reds, their last call of this tournament, and the East Coast All-Stars will be looking forward to finishing off this game. And we have an 11-5 ball game here. As we come back to some of your comments, Liz Balfour watching Williams this week. Yep, giving his all. He has given his all. Scotty Glass, yes, we are correct. It is wet out here. A Wembley chili dog and chips would be a perfect choice at the ground today. You are not wrong, and maybe I'll entertain myself with one of those a bit later. It'll be better than the light and easy I've been eating for the last 3 weeks. But and we've got a legal procedure here against Evans, against Green, who kicks it out to his captain in Stokes. And Stokes just kicking it back to Green, kicks it to Omar. Omar back to Green. This is where Green likes to do his work. He loves that right hand, draws down over. He's coming in on the left here. He just fell over his own feet there. And while falling over his own feet, we have the ball going in the back of the net. That was just launching himself forward. Watts complaining to Tim Kennedy there. Tim Kennedy's found a penalty, which was just a technical, and that's been waved off. And Watts just asking Timmy Kennedy what actually happened there. But a good job from Green going to ground and putting one away. And you know, that just puts another goal on the board for the East Coast All-Stars. And Green doing his work really well there. Actually just fell over his own feet, I thought. But as he was going to the cage, the momentum carried him and he put a shot away, and I don't think Watts was expecting the ball to come out of there. And he will be ruining that one. But Evans goes, come on, let's be serious, boys. And gets this one out of the face-off against Hart. The East Coast All-Stars really, really good here this week, and really good to see the progression in their lacrosse through those states, as Nige Morton just sits out here. We've got a penalty. Oh, no, we did get a penalty in the box there. I thought that was waved off, but apologies. Nige Morton finding his motors with his 2 defenders, just double teaming him. Apologies that we have Pat Palmer sitting in the box here. For a minute penalty. So must have been for a trip that Timmy Kennedy has seen. And Pat Palmer finding himself in the box again for his second penalty of the game. Nige Morton just sucking out the back here, going, come on, Omar. Come on, Omar. So 10 seconds in the penalty. You can hear on our FX mic there. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the penalty's released. And Nige just sucking out that penalty there. Did a great job, Nige Morton, on that. And Nige will go, here you go, Zach Drury. I've done my work. You young guys go and have a bit of a crack at it. We've got Jack Palmer up the top. He's been feeding down from X and playing a lot of ball down low this week, as he kicks it down to Evans with a good pass. Evans on C3PO, and just rips him around. And Evans looking down low. It's come off the defender there. Hands together push there. Kicks it out to the side. Ivorach with the ball, and the ball just trickles out of bounds. And the ball will go back to the SA Reds. And Jack Palmer kicks it up to Fuss, kicks it out to Drury, who kicks it down to Robinson. Robinson just trying to step inside there. Defence says, no, we won't have that. And there's a couple of big ones for you. Benny to finish the tournament as Benny rips the ball across. There were two guys in there, but that's actually come off an East Coast All-Stars stick. Had a tip there. So SA Reds will get the ball back and will reload into an offensive situation. And that was Adrian White just putting a little bit of wood on the sniper as Jack Palmer comes down the back, looks in Nigel Morton, and there we go. Nigel will be really happy with that. He's finally got one past the brick wall that is Williams, and Nigel Morton might even go and have a chat to Sammy in a minute saying, so that's how I do it. You see Nigel coming off that cut, a great little look inside, and we get the feed down the bottom, and Jack Palmer finding his captain, and Jack Palmer with the assist there. Great look inside to Nigel Morton, and Nigel Morton will be really good and really pleased to have had one on the board here. Sammy Williams has had the best of him today with his shooting, but Nigel's just going, you know what, not anymore. I'm going to put one past you, and a great shot there from Nigel Morton. As Luke Keesing with the ball, good defence work there. Luke Keesing wearing some wood again. And here we go. We've got the All-Stars, East Coast All-Stars picking up the ball there. Bronkhorst with the ball. Good work in there from Adrian White just to create a scuffle with the long stick. He's been laying some wood over the last couple of minutes, and the SA boys are certainly wearing a couple of them, but nothing untowards there. K-Man wanting to put pressure here on the captain. Good hold there from Jack Stokes, as we've got a ward call here on Stokes. As I thought that he held that fairly well, but referee Blair Fraser picking up a ward there. He's close to that action and had a good view of it, as Luke Keesing just little bit of offensive pressure. Fuss is on the outside here and looking down, kicking the ball down to Palmer. Palmer to Robertson. We've got Henry Haskett open up in the middle here, and Fuss, that's his first shot of the day, and but it's gone straight to Williams, and that's Williams' 14th save of the day. So there's a fast man break here. Kicks it over, or just lost the handle there, Meyer. But a good opportunity for the East Coast All-Stars, and if Meyer looks up, he's actually got a free man. So the East Coast All-Stars just pulling it out there. Cheadle thinking, you know what, I might just reassess here while we get some subs off. As Mercer comes to the boundary, done a lot of work. Shot there on Watts. Watts found that one up high. And Bronkhorst got one past earlier. Good outlet there to Fuss, and they're not watching the back. And Fussy has some motors here, but Omar's had to go. Looks inside to Haskett. Haskett looks inside, finds Morton on the bottom corner. And we've got South Australia just subbing here. We've got Zach Drury coming on. And Fuss had a pop from there before. That ball's gone through the nets and out the back, and it's about 200 metres away. And Fuss with another shot, but that one wasn't anywhere near the cage. And South Australia will retain the ball with the backup. Robinson, here he goes, steps inside. Here's the sniper. Sniper's missed. Great pickup at the back there by Palmer. Palmer looks up the top, finds Haskett. Haskett finds Drury. Drury will want to come down this right-hand side, blows past his opponent. And Drury, having a great game, pops another one in the top right-hand corner there. Really good pace from Drury. He knew what he wanted to do as soon as he got the ball then. And Zach Drury having a good game here. That's his fourth for the game. You see him just blow past. He's on the second, sorry, that's offside of Williams up high. And a fantastic shot there from Drury. And Drury will be very pleased with his game. 4 goals, and he's done a lot of work out there, Zach Drury, or the does man. And must have been all that coaching he's had from the juniors through. And he is playing good lacrosse too at state league level at the moment. So he'll be pleased with that effort to have 4 in the game so far. But here we go. And we've got Brooks with a fast man break out for South Australia. Morton looking in. He's got one and just shoots that one over the top. of Williams. They have had a battle today, those two. And I think Nige wants to get a little bit more respect back. So he was having a ping at that one. And South Australia with the ball in Palmer's hands. Just kicking it up here to Nathaniel Rowe. Nathaniel Rowe kicks it up to Henry Haskett. And this is where they did their work last time, coming down the right-hand side. Kicks it out to Palmer. Palmer looking outside. A flag has been thrown here by Kennedy. Had some height in it too. As Haskett steps through. Gets knocked down. And there's going to be another penalty here for a late hit, I believe. So East Coast All-Stars. Illegal body 1. And a hold for 30. So there'll be 2 players sitting in the box here for the East Coast All-Stars. I would think that... Oh, no, they've given both penalties. Okay, so they've given both penalties there to Simon Raffel. And they'll have a 1.5 minute on penalty here, South Australia. But Haskett, great little move there. And young Jack Palmer certainly moving the ball around and finding his teammates, which is really good. The ball zipping here, kicks it down to Morton, kicks it up to Fuss, kicks it to Keesing. Back to Palmer. Palmer starts to move. They're moving into a 1-3-2, bit of a wheel here. Palmer looking on the bottom. Dan Evans open up in the middle. There's no one on Evans in the middle at the moment. And Fuss just being able to lose his hands. And Williams down low picks that one up from Fuss. Fuss kicking it up. Great interception there from Keesing. Keesing will bring that back in, and he just holds it up. They know they've got a 1.5 minute penalty, but another save there from Williams. And Williams is doing a fantastic job. And Keesing just kicks it out to Evans. Evans to Fuss. And out to Morton as the rotations happen. Keesing, Robinson, kicking the ball. Kicks it over. Morton down to Palmer. Palmer, I think that was a pass across. I think that'll be called a pass, yes. Umpire Tim Kennedy just going, that was not a shot. He was trying to find Robinson on the opposite side there. Ball has gone out of bounds. And Alexander C3PO Mercer will bring the ball in for the East Coast All-Stars as we have about 10 minutes to go in this last quarter. And Benny Robinson just trying to keep up with the C3PO. Good pressure though. But Alexander, great ball hold. Nige Morton just putting a lot of pressure on here. And Morton, as the penalty releases for the East Coast All-Stars, kicks it up to Evans. Evans has got one on his backside here, kicking it up to Keesing. Keesing just finding Robinson on the other side. Sees the captain in Stokes, thought he might have a go at that one. Kicks it to Jack Palmer. Jack Palmer bringing it up to Zach Drury, who just lost the ball for a second there. But I'm sure Zach Drury wouldn't mind having the ball back in his stick and maybe putting a 5th on the board for this South Australian Reds team as the sniper just nails the captain, the Shorty D there in Stokes. Stokes none toward for that one. But Benny Robinson coming off, looks in the middle, just misses his captain in Nigel Morton there. And the ball will go out of bounds. And the East Coast All-Stars will bring it back into attack. Score here, 13-6. Late into the 4th quarter, and if you're watching on the ALN, send us a message, and we'll try to get back to everything. So we've got the East Coast All-Stars with Omar running it out here. We hope you're enjoying the live coverage of the ALN, and we thank all our sponsors for their efforts in bringing this to you. Without them, we cannot do this. And one of the guys who is sponsoring this is my producer here, Scotty Gill, with 3AM IT and Web. And for all your IT and Web, no, great pick up there. Yeah, good long stick handle, finds Evans. And that was picking that one up there. Dominic Lyons, great pick up from a long stick, who brought it back into the offense, and Dan Evans brings it down. So yeah, if you're enjoying the live coverage and you like what you see, you like what you hear, share us on Facebook. The more people that see this, the better. And it's great to be able to bring you live lacrosse, especially at this level and state league levels around the country. So the ALN doing a power of work here to bring this great game to from Australia to the world. So send us give us a bit of a shout out, and we'll try and get back to you. Courtney Hobbs, way to go, sunshine. Okay, and Mark Mangan just asking why Fussi's not playing a lot. Mark, as you know Fussi really well, I think he's played a fair bit of ball over the last couple of days, and I don't know whether the nightclub stamps on his arm mean anything right now, but I gather they were recovering last night after the WA game. So that's the only reason I can think of, Mark, at the moment. But great to see a legend of the game just streaming into this live feed, Mark. Great to see you, mate. And as we get the ball in here, and Mercer, C3PO, and another one. Found him on the bottom corner, and he's done that twice now. Meyer, Jacobus Meyer, finding it on the bottom corner. That's his second one where he's been sitting on the crease and just pops it over the top of Watts there, and Watts scratching his head. But obviously the game now out to a 13-7 scoreline, and the East Coast All-Stars were really pleased with the way that they've played out this game. And as our camera guys here from the TAFE just rubbing their hands together because it's nice and cold. And they're doing a great job here, the TAFE, with the camera work and everyone behind the scenes here with the ALN doing a fantastic job to bring this coverage to you. So Timmy Kennedy gets him set again. Dan Evans with the ball, just in the back of the stick, flicks it out. And Dan Evans just finding a little bit of pressure. There we go. Bobby all over him, wearing him like a cheap suit, Bobby Bride, sorry. And Bobby Bride just flicking back into the defence, kicks it out to Nige Morton. And as South Australia just look to move the ball around a bit here, and kicks it up to Keesing. Keesing kicking it down to Jack Palmer. Jack Palmer's done a lot of work in the offence for South Australia today, and he'll be better for the, and this is the man that's done it. He picked up Bride's, great little tip off the stick there. Great stick there from Hopkinson, and just got the stick in the way. The sniper, Benny Robinson, was just not moving the feet, and Zach Drury has got Bobby Bride there, little inside cut. Good again there from Hopkinson. Unfortunately, that's just come off the foot of Rafout. Got the knockdown, but just come off the foot, and the ball will restart with South Australia, with Jack Palmer picking up the ball as the ball gets kicked up to Keesing. Keesing has heart, double coming, and the ball, if they kick the ball the other side here, they've got Drury, who's been on fire. Great knockdown for Bobby Bride. He's in everything. He's even knocking down his teammates there. He's knocked down absolutely everything there, and great knockdown from the shot of Drury. And Drury kicks it up here, and Keesing, and we're back to almost deja vu. Looks inside, Nige Morton. Again, Nige Morton not getting past Williams, and that's been the battle all day. And Nige is going to go up and put a hole in his stick, I reckon. He'll bring his scissors out next time, as the ball unfortunately just flicks out the top, and Bobby Bride just going, oh, this is hard work. Tried to find the man out here in Hart, and the ball goes over the top of his head as Timmy Kennedy blows the whistle to bring it in, and Luke Keesing will bring it back in. He's got Dougie Brooks on his left, Nathaniel Rowe on his right. Nathaniel Rowe's had a couple of really good goals today. So from the Brighton Lacrosse Club there, Nathaniel Rowe and Dougie Brooks, both young players coming up through the State League. They've played through that under-18 competition as they kick it out to Luke Keesing. Keesing kicking it down to Palmer. Palmer looking inside, nothing there. They've got Nathaniel Rowe as he comes on cue. Nathaniel Rowe just kicking it out. Hopkinson, they've got two here. Or just losing the ball there. The sniper kicks it out to Morton. I reckon Morton mightn't mind Omar here, and he wants another crack. He's certainly doing his best work. Nige Morton, but again snuffed out, and that kicks to the right-hand side, and unfortunately Nige has just slipped in the crease, so the ball will be turned over to the East Coast All-Stars. But you can see Nige's passion in wanting to get past Williams, and that one's just kicked to the right-hand side. You see Nige trying to get past. Great camera work there from the guys, just showing that Morton did just slip into the crease there with his hand, and Williams will bring the ball out for the East Coast All-Stars. And Leanne Groves, thank you very much for your comments. We appreciate you watching from Bris Vegas up there. So, and yeah, we love the work that the All-Stars have done this week. So great to have you there. And there's someone that I know really well, my daughter Geordie Watts. Good to see you on the live stream here, darling. And yeah, Cody's doing his best, but he's had a couple put by him, and the boys have certainly had a tough game today. So good to see you, darling, and good to see you're tuning in. And Neil Kennedy there, thank you very much. We appreciate all your comments coming through here. Tim Kennedy, obviously out there just doing his black and white duty and doing a great job. He is. I loved his hat flag height there before, and yes, the big games coming up a bit later between the WA and Vic teams and the men's and women's 1-2 playoffs for the championship finals, and we can't wait for those games here, as Pat Palmer just putting a little bit of pressure on as a pick comes in from Omar, and Bronkhorst just working his way out. The Persian nightclub owner there. Oh, tries a little flick around, lets him get in, and goalie comes out there. Watts drawn the flag there. There's a double flag here. Kennedy's just gone, I don't think I want that. And we've got a double flag here. Okay, so what we've got here is a minute penalty for a slash, and then we've got a 30-second technical for being in the crease. Obviously, the team with the less penalties at the moment will take the ball, so the East Coast All-Stars should start with the ball here. And but yeah, the Persian nightclub owner just trying to give him a big "how you doing" around the back, and and didn't quite get that right. Watts came out the cage, and it's probably the first time he stepped out the circle in this game, and wanted to put a bit on. Nice little move there. Watts is under pressure, but a good save down low by Watts, and he's going to bring the ball out the back here. They've got a 30-second differential in this penalty. They're even at the moment, but South Australia will be a goal down as he just kicks it up to Pat Palmer, and Pat Palmer's got some motors. He really has got some motors, and that might be one on the. That might be one, but Pat Palmer just kicking it down as we come here, as the East Coast All-Stars have been released from penalty, and SA Reds will still have 30 seconds in the box. The ball is out with Luke Keesing, kicks it up to Haskett. Haskett out to Robinson. Robinson on Monkhorst there. Sorry, Bronkhorst. I do that all the time. Monkhorst played for Collingwood, obviously, but Bronkhorst with the defense on the sniper. Robinson kicks it down. Great cut there by Haskett. Haskett just putting the ball behind, and on the right hand there, the sniper. Not much power there, but the shot's called, and great work out there by Alex C3PO Mercer just to find the first on, and Mercer's gone, here we go, boys, it's coming back down on the forward line. As the whistle goes there, I missed that one, I didn't see the clock on the field. And that is the end of the game here between the 3-4 final playoff between the South Australian Reds and the East Coast All-Stars. And the South Australian Reds have run out winners here, 13 goals to 7, which was a fantastic game of lacrosse. And if it's a prelude to what's coming up today, as we see Nige Morton and Williams just down there having a bit of an embrace, I'm sure those boys will have a beer together later. And it's a fantastic thing as we watch some highlights here of the last half, and there we go. Sammy Williams is putting one away, and this is when the rain wasn't coming down. Dougie Brooks just running to the right there, looks inside, and that was the one that Nige just says, how do I get past this man? Kicks it down to Meyer over the top of Watts, and there we go. There's another one. That was Bronkhorst just getting past Evans with that one down low on Williams. And good little fight for the ground ball here between the Green and kicks in here. And that's the one that fell over. And how he got that shot away, I'll never know. But Green with a fantastic shot there. And there we go. Nige Morton getting one back on Williams. And Luke Keesing coming out here. Good check there. Zach Drury had an outstanding game today with 4 goals. Henry Haskett getting through there, wearing 2 penalties. Henry had a fantastic game as well, and Fussy just trying to light up Williams, but Williams has been really good. Good pressure there by Morton. Just losing the handle there late as the guys send the cheers, and tried to kick it in the centre there. Kicks it down, and another one there for Meyer, just finding himself on the crease loose. As a good tip-off there from Hopkinson, and it was a really well fought game and played in really good spirits here. As you'll see there, Nige Morton just getting knocked down. Nige trying to go through everything, just puts the ball to the right. Fantastic work from both teams this week, and they'll be really proud with their efforts. Obviously, the East Coast All-Stars doing a great job. As you see them shaking hands down there, all smiles, and the boys will be looking forward to watching the other games. And as the boys shake hands, we're going to shoot down here to the winning coach of the South Australian Reds, Mr. Brett Howe. Brett, must be pleased with the way you've finished off that game, mate.
Yeah, look, it was a bit scrappy today, obviously, but look, yeah, the boys regrouped and finished off well in the end. So happy with the win.
Yeah, look, it's always tough to come and play this 3-4 final, but the East Coast All-Stars played really well, put a lot of pressure on South Australia, but really impressed with a couple of the young lads of South Australia, Zach Drury, Henry Haskett, and we've got a couple of the other guys out of the Brighton Lacrosse Club there.
Yeah.
You must be pleased with them?
Yeah, look, the young guys stepped up today. You know, they've done well all week, really. Came up big against WA and Victoria, and again stepped up today. It was a good chance for us to give those young guys a run, and look, I think they all got on the scoreboard, so that was good.
All right, well, thank you for your time, Brett. We're about to go to the presentations here. Great job this week coaching the South Australian time for your first time. We will see you back here more and more, no doubt.
Excellent. Thanks very much, Tony.
No worries.
See you.
As we're just going to kick down now here to the presentations of the MVPs for this game. And we will shoot down to see what the coaches have to say.
The decisions for the MVPs, can you speak to the mic? Yeah.
Just trying to get a mic down here to assistant coach Craig Schicker. So as the mic's just handed, and we see for the East Coast...
Number 13, Johnny. Very good, mate.
There we go. So fantastic.
Brockhurst.
Fantastic there from Gene Bronkhorst. Had a fantastic game.
South Australia, thanks for a great game today. You really worked us hard, but I've got to say thanks to my boys for lifting today. You come out. SA kept us to 0 last time. We got a few on you. You got a great young squad here, guys. A lot of young fellas in this squad. I can see SA going places over the next few years. But your best on today was Dougie.
And there we go, Dougie Brooks from the Brighton Lacrosse Club, getting named MVP of this game. Had a fantastic job out of the centre, and yeah, as I said, in that
Thanks,
young
guys.
one. So we're just going to have a photo here with the boys. So Dougie Brooks winning the MVP here for South Australia, and Gene Bronkhorst for the East Coast All-Stars. Had fantastic games today, and as Youngie said down there, and Craig Schicker, we just missed the first part of that, but I can tell you Craig Schicker basically saying that the East Coast All-Stars had a fantastic tournament, and he's seen that they've grown over the time, and that they're, with the work that they're doing with that program, that they're going to be a team to be reckoned with in the future. And we're going to go in about 5 minutes. We might try and grab one of the boys to have a bit of a chat. And but yeah, and obviously on the Youngie there with his comments on the South Australian side, talking about the young guys of South Australia. And there certainly are a number of young players in the South Australian side, as I believe we've got... We're about to go down to one of the South Australian players. All right, I think we're going to shoot down here to the MVP for South Australia. Dougie Brooks, look at that hair, mate. I wish I had it. You must be really pleased with your game today. Fantastic in the centre, and I think you went about 75% in the face-off.
Yeah, I think I did pretty well today. To be honest, I wasn't expecting to win, but the MVP. But you know, that's what I got. Yeah.
Yeah, look, really pleasing, mate. You had a great game today, so be happy. And we thought from up here you had a fantastic game. Really good to see all those young guys that you've played with, obviously through the 18s in South Australia, all standing up. They were big today for South Australia.
Yeah, that's good. Some of the young boys got a few goals today. Zach Drury got 3 or 4, I think, and Nat got a couple. So yeah, that's good to see them coming up.
Yeah, it was good. Nat got 2, and Zach Drury got 4. So really good signs for South Australia. And we look forward to seeing you a lot more in this South Australian side over the next 10 or 15 years. So congratulations today. Go and join the boys, and fantastic tournament this week, Dougie.
Cheers, Tony.
No worries, mate. All right, so there we go. The MVP for the winning team, South Australia, Doug Brooks, had a fantastic tournament. Another young guy, and we've got some stats on the screen there for you. So we'll just shoot through them. Let's do the East Coast All-Stars first, because they had a fantastic day today. And there we go. Your MVP for the East Coast All-Stars, Jean Bronkhorst. I'm sorry, I called him Monkhorst a couple of times with 2 goals. We had Jacobus Meyer with 2 sitting on the crease there. Omar Khalid with 1. Zach Cheadle with 1, and Sammy Green with 1, with an assist thrown in there. Alexander Mercer, our C3 EPO man. I hope you don't mind me calling you that, Alexander. 1 assist. And then for SA, we've got Henry Haskett with 1, Nige Morton with 1 and 1, and he'd be glad to get 1 on the board. Luke Keesing with 2, Dan Evans with 3. We've got Nathaniel Rowe, as we said there, one of the young guys for South Australia with 2. Benny Robinson got an assist. Matty Fuss got an assist. Jackie Palmer with 2 assists, and Zach Drury leading the scorers for South Australia with 4 goals. And that is the wrap-up of the stats there for this game. We look forward to having you back here for the 2 big games. The first one we'll have is SA. Sorry, I keep saying that. I'm sorry for the viewers. First one here in the women's game, we have Victoria versus WA in the big clash for the women's national title, and then followed by the men's 1-2 clash. So we'd love to see you back here live on the ALN for our coverage of that. I've been Tony Watts. We appreciate your viewing. Keep tuning in to the ALN for the rest of the day for this big finals of Lacrosse Australia.